Hello, my name is Magdalene Kamau, and today I would want us to look at raising a generation that yields abundantly. Welcome. A week ago, I was invited to speak to boys and girls in Kilifi County in a secondary school there regarding how to overcome life's challenges. The beauty of this is that the community I was speaking to were not very new to me in the sense that I live in Mombasa County and they're just in the neighboring county. So some of the things that they were going through were partly what I had seen in my current county. And my aim of speaking to them regarding building a generation that yields abundantly was to be able to help them to build an attitude of taking responsibility. Reason being that a good number of them felt that it was someone else's fault that they were in the situation they were in. Whereas in my best of understanding is that they were well able to take control of the situation they were in and focus in their education so that they may not live in that situation longer than they were doing at that present time. So today I would want us to look at getting out of life's hole of negativity and embracing this life that God has given us. This greatness, this awesomeness, this beauty, this creativity, and above them all, the love. Love for oneself, love for me, and love for you. More love for the entire mankind, that you may be able to serve them well. And above them all, love for God who has given you all that. So welcome. For us to be able to raise a generation that yields abundantly, we have first to be that generation. We have to be the kind of people who will yield abundantly. And you can only yield abundantly as a person if you're able to take responsibility. Responsibility of what you think, what you say, what you do, instead of placing the blame on others. With this, I've come up with a message that has 7 questions that each one of us should be able to relate to. And this will help us grow towards being that generation that yields abundantly, that is able to perform, that is goal-directed. And my first question would be, who am I? My identity. Now, my identity and my name are 2 different things. My identity would be, what word can I use to describe myself? Now, I have a habit of whenever someone greets me, I say I am beautiful. When someone says, how are you? I say I am beautiful. And many people feel a bit offended about that because they expect me to say I am fine. But no, I don't want to go by the norm. I am beautiful. And there's nothing wrong with you saying I am an achiever. How are you? I'm achieving. I'm an achiever. I'm creative. Yes, that's who you are. That's your identity. And that is what should also be reflected when you speak to people. If you're the courageous or confident kind of person, let us see it when you speak. That is your identity. And when now the other people look at you, when you're gone, when you're no longer near their presence, you actually should be able to hear it later when someone says, so and so stands for this. They are dependable, they are respectable, they are beautiful from inside out. They are courageous, they are confident. So maybe I should ask you, who are you? What is your true identity? Once we have identified our truth, the identity, next we focus on where am I? That is awakening. Am I here right now? Or am I here physically and my mind elsewhere? Do I find myself in class physically and my mind at home? Do I find myself in the office working, yet my mind is shopping? When you're not aware of your surrounding, you find yourself torn in between and you're not able to take responsibility. You cannot perform to the best when you're not all in the one place. Where your physical body is, then let your mind also be there. For a reason. Your performance physically will be determined by your mental ability to focus on that one thing. So ask yourself, are you performing well at school or at work? In your relationship, in your life? Do you have good relationship with people? Could it be that you have formed a habit of being absent while claiming to be present? You're not aware of your presence. You don't know where you are. So you're all over the place trying to perform a job in a certain place, yet you've directed all your strength elsewhere, or your mind is elsewhere. You need to be able to evaluate your environment. It could be that you're in an environment where there's a lot of alcoholism, a lot of abuse, a lot of mischief, uncaring parents, an uncaring spouse. It doesn't matter who is in your environment. The question is, where are you? Because when you focus your mind in being in one place and doing that one thing you were meant to be doing at that time, then you can be sure that your performance rises. Aren't we working towards raising a generation that yields abundantly? Then be in the right place at the right time, doing the right thing. That is awareness. I believe that no one is ever in a situation for no purpose. You're always in a situation for a reason, so that you can be able to notice it. And that's why I talked about awareness. Where are you now? And now I want you to think of a different question, a third question. Where do I want to be in a few days, in a few months, in a few years? What's your mission? You see, think about it this way. You're not here on earth for no good reason. You're not in that town or in that city, in that country for no reason. You're there so that you can notice that challenge, and one way or the other, that challenge will help you grow towards discovering your mission and being able to achieve it. And that way now you can make it part of your goal to achieve your life mission. Suppose as I went to Kilifi County, I was supposed to notice more than just the absence of water in a very green town, which does not make sense to me anyway. And when I was talking to the students in Kilifi County, I mentioned to them the absence of water. I don't know how many of them had actually taken note. You see, a challenge tends to appear to a certain person in one perspective different from another person. Now, those students have been there that long, I don't know how long, and I know they've noticed the absence of water because most of the time they have to buy the water. And amongst them must be somebody who has a mission of being an engineer somewhere in their lives. Someone who can actually look for the water and purify it so that the town can have fresh water to consume. Now, I hear that there are developments of plans to bring up a campus there, and I don't know how that campus is going to operate without water. So amongst those students, could there be an engineer on mission? Today, I'd want you to ask yourself, that challenge that you're calling a challenge, could it be placed strategically so that you can be able to discover your mission and to achieve that which you are built to do? Because it's of no good use for you to have lived so many years here on earth and then walk away out of this world without having accomplished your mission. And that's something that you should think about. You're aware of a certain challenge. Funny, you might be the only one who is getting bothered by the challenge. You could be the only one getting bothered by alcoholism in your family, or sluggardness at the workplace. Maybe because it is within your purpose of life to correct that situation. And it has to begin in you. You have to first work on yourself by accepting that this is actually my calling, this is my duty, this is my assignment to pursue. And if you're not doing it, you will leave this world having not solved that which you were supposed to have solved for the benefit of mankind. And I'm not sure how happy that will be to you on your last few minutes of this earth, in this earth. not having accomplished the mission, the goal you were supposed to accomplish. Think about it. You know, when I visited Kilifi County last week, I came across a situation that did not really look real. Kilifi County at that time looked quite green. Along the road, there were green trees and these beautiful valleys, and I kept thinking, these people must be having all the water in the world. Funny enough, I never saw any stream or sign of one. And when I inquired, I was told that the area I was visiting actually does not have a river. It doesn't even have a stream flowing. That was very strange. With all that green, I was even anticipating buying a piece of land there. I mean, who doesn't want some beautiful place? And I imagined that there must be a child there growing up and seeing this situation and desiring to be an engineer. And you wonder why they would want to explore presence of water or purification of whatever water they find there so that it is available for everybody. Their reason for being an engineer will be attached to the idea that there is no water. So I would want to ask you, now that you've identified your mission, why do you want to be there? What is the reason for your mission? Because you see, a teacher may think they want to be a teacher because they have a good voice to teach. But actually, your mission is attached to a very big reason. And it is that reason that helps you remain attached and focused to your mission when things tend to wobble and you start feeling like, you know, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I wasn't called to be a teacher. Maybe I wasn't supposed to be an engineer. Why am I even trying to explore the water possibilities in Kilifi County? When such a situation happens, the reason for your mission keeps you going. Think of this child born in poverty. And in their mind, they know very well that this situation can be changed because they have seen other people who are not in the same impoverished situation. The reason for their mission to get out of poverty and help the people around himself to be better doing or yielding better would be that they don't want that situation to be in anybody else's life. They want to be the last in that group of poverty. And they want to draw a line and tell poverty, you know, this is how far you can go because I'm going to stop you. You see, thorny situations tend to give us a bigger reason for our mission. Now, what will keep me to pursue better grades, if that's my mission, to achieve better grades, is that I am uncomfortable with those bad grades. My reason is that I want to look better to myself and to whoever pays my school fees. And I want to feel better as a student. I don't want to feel like a waste of time. And with this reason ingrained in my heart and in my mind, then I start working towards my mission. You see, the problem is, sometimes we know our assignment, but we don't have a good enough reason to stay focused to it. So what happens is that we keep shifting from one area to another. And today, yes, I want to be a doctor, and tomorrow I want to be this, and I want to be that, and so many things you want to be, and then at the end of the day, you're none of those because you do not have the reason. The reason gives you the discipline. It gives you the focus. The question is, if your reason starts shrinking, will you be faithful enough to keep your focus onto that mission? And most of the time, no. That's why our reason has to be so big. Our reason for that mission has to be what I call larger than life. It has to be so big that no matter what comes our way, we want to continue doing it until we achieve it or die trying. Now that you have set your mission, and you have a reason to remain focused and be in motion to pursue your mission. Now I'd want you to ask yourself, how do I get there? How do I get to the point of my mission? By gathering information. That's the answer. Think of the computer way of operating. A computer requires an input which it processes, and it's able to achieve an output, or it gives you an output. Information is that input that you need, the information towards solving that challenge that you have around you that has given you a mission. As I said, the challenge you're facing today is most likely, almost 99.99% directing you towards your mission. So instead of complaining about it, why don't you gather the information that you need to be able to solve it? For example, when I talked about Kilifi County not having water, chances are someone is already thinking about it. They have seen that as a challenge, but they're not just sitting there thinking, oh, poor me, how am I going to get water in this place? And I'm glad they can ask themselves that, because if no one else has discovered it, then maybe it's their time to discover it. If you want to push your grades up in school, for example, I would say, why don't you ask your teacher? There is source of information. Get help from other students. Visit the library. There are so many places of gathering the information. Sometimes what we do is that we start blinding ourselves and we stop looking for it. It could be from someone who is already doing exactly what you want to do. I would say to a student who wants to become a doctor, if that's their mission in life, then they should already know a certain doctor whom maybe over their weekends, over their holidays, they can interact with and get information on how this doctor became a doctor. You see, it's not just simply going to school. They must have been passionate about it. They probably actually had to submit some of their hours of their free time to another doctor. And you see, when we fail to bring in an input, however big our reason is for our mission, as long as we're not willing to bring in an input, as long as we're not doing anything about it today, then our mission will remain so far away, actually beyond the horizon, I would say. Are you gathering information to help you achieve your mission, your purpose in life? Because let me tell you, you're not just going to wake up 17 having accomplished a mission that you once thought about. No, you're going to have to work about it progressively. It's like climbing a staircase, one step at a time, gathering information, being who you want to be. It is never accomplished in a day. We say Rome was never built in a day. They gathered bits of bricks and made Rome. So gather your chunks of information and start working on your mission now, not tomorrow, now. If you want to be that day, then you start now by taking the form and use your reason daily so that you can accomplish your mission. You see, I brought in the analogy of the computer input, processing, and output. And I said that information is the input. The information of how to achieve your mission is the input. Now, you process that by bringing in control or taking control, taking responsibility, disciplining yourself. Then the question that you should ask yourself now is, when do I start preparing to go where I want to go or to achieve my mission? When do I start? And the answer is now. If you want to be a better student in class, you don't wait until the end of the month when the exams are coming and that's when you start running through your notes. No. You discipline yourself to start learning, to start studying. You change a few things in your life so that at least when the time comes for you to sit for the next exam, you're ready. And of course, it takes discipline, because for you to have performed poorly, it means that there were things that you were doing that you need to change. And to change takes discipline. I mean, we're human beings and sometimes change is not the easiest thing. So we need to actually plan. We need to plan to perform better or to achieve that goal that we have placed ahead of us, to overcome that challenge that is ahead of us. We need to prepare for it. Now, part of planning is preparing, knocking off a few things that we do not need to be dealing with. Now, sometimes I say as a student, I need to knock off my TV time and be able to study. It takes discipline to do that, because yes, I do love my movies, but currently I've had to give up that. I'm taking control and saying, you know what, I need to actually up my grades. And when I've planned and I've prepared, then I can be present. At the time of the exam, I'll be there ready to win. ready to see my grade go up. Now, the reason as to why there are so many people who actually know what they should be doing, they have a mission and they have a reason, they've gathered information, but they're not processing it. The reason why we have so many people in that category is that they have believed in the myth that says life begins at 40. So they're still waiting to live. Or DeMarco sang a song, I Love My Life. And he says, I live my life today. Which means he's processing his life every day to be a better musician, maybe to actually be able to sell more albums. I don't know. The question is, if you know already your mission and you have a reason and you've gathered the information, then why are you not processing it by taking control? Take matters in your hands. If things fail, you blame. If things work out. If things work out, and they will, if you've prepared for them, then you'll be the happy one here. Take control. Stop blaming situations. Stop blaming other people. You will never win and you'll never be able to achieve your mission if you stand on a pointing perspective that they should do that so that I can do this. No. You're not going to be a doctor if they become that. Maybe if they get sicker, you should think of becoming a doctor faster. So start doing something now. Take control now of your situation. And the seventh question is, what are the hindrances to becoming what you want to be, or for you that will come on your way to you being able to achieve your mission? Think of yourself as the hero. But for you to be a hero, there must be battles. There are battles for you and battles that are not meant for you. Think of this child. A boy grows up in a family where he has experienced battles in the form of alcoholism, in the form of poverty, in the form of uncaring parents. There are some battles that are meant for him and those that are not meant for him. For example, there is little, if at all, that he can do, almost nothing that he can do regarding his father's alcoholism. Maybe what he can do is when he comes home and he finds his father drunk on the sofa, sitting there, or maybe sprawling on the floor, he could walk to the right direction, go to his room and tidy up and get ready to revise some more and study some more and be more creative towards achieving his mission. But you see, he cannot get his father out of alcoholism. You need to know that there is very little you can do towards changing the people around you. Instead, work towards changing yourself. You see, we're looking at a situation where we want the output to be we as the hero. People who are able to yield abundantly. People who are taking responsibility of the situations around them and making use of them to achieve the mission in life. Now, if you become the kind of hero that keeps pointing fingers, you'll never be a hero actually. It will just be a make-believe story. A hero is that one who is able to identify his battles and other people's battles, and he's able to pursue his battles. Now, for you to be able to pursue your battles, the question is, what are the battles? Could it be some sluggardness in your life that has barred you from being able to achieve your mission? Maybe, for me as a student, I'd say, standing or sitting in front of my TV for too long, such that I spend more time on TV than I spend in my books or in my research work. Could it be as a business person who wants to achieve more or want to have a higher produce? Maybe you're spending more time chit-chatting with your neighbor instead of trying to market your business more. You spend more time on Facebook instead of actually talking to the people who you should be marketing your goods to. You see, there's nothing wrong in using social media to market your product. But if you're doing that, then do that and be dedicated to it. Now, you would have a battle to fight. If you find yourself spending more time doing things that are unproductive, then you do have a battle to fight right there. And the battle is with yourself, disciplining yourself to spend time wisely, to manage your time. Could it be to acquire knowledge in an area that you need to acquire so that you can be able to bring in your business better, or to perform better in school, or to help you become that which you want to be? A hero means that actually you dedicate more time and you discipline yourself towards research work. Discipline yourself towards breaking that weakness, that laziness. So actually, for you to be a hero, you will be a hero fighting against the battles within yourself, not battles in other people's grounds. There's very little as a Kenyan citizen I would do to make the president change the way he thinks. And I can choose to push that for as long as I can, and I'll be wasting my time. But there's so much I can do to building me to be a better me, to yield more productively. Now the question is, could you be somewhere right now pursuing the wrong battles and you think you are actually doing anything constructive, helping you to yield better? The chances are, if you're pushing towards the wrong battles, you're wasting time. But when you push towards the right battles, when you start fighting the weakness, the laziness, the poor time management, the sluggardness in you, when you start fighting those, when you start breaking those battles, bringing them to their knees, you're able to step higher and you're able to become a hero. Discipline yourself to be able to achieve your mission. Keep your mission within line of sight by always reminding yourself the reason. Gather as much information as you need so as you can be able to achieve your mission. But above them all is the discipline. For you to be a hero, know there will be battles, there will be hindrances. Some external that you may not be able to control, but the bigger ones are the internal ones that you actually do have control over. But you need to discipline yourself. You see, once you become a hero, there'll be more shouts of joy. There'll be longer songs of praise. And by the time you leave this world, you'll have served more mankind than you would have if you just sat down. Think of it. In all this message, I want you to think of one thing. Actually, if you haven't noticed, we talked of identity. We talked of awareness. We talked of the mission, the reason, the information, taking control, and being a hero. If you look at all those words, it says, I am rich. Identity, awareness, mission, reason, information, control, being a hero. I am rich, and so are you. You're in total control, but you need to put it into action. I tell my friends, action your passion and spread. Your mission is always within your control. The question is, what are you doing about it? And I'll leave you with this. I am rich.